Welcome to Southeast Asia's most underrated country, Laos. This is my first time here and I'll be exploring the South, a region home to raging waterfalls, ancient mystical temples, unknown river cuisine, and coffee beans birthed from the soil of war-torn lands. Grab a meal and sit down because you don't want to miss this mega Southern Laos adventure.
Good coffee. Yeah, coffee in Laos is just so amazing. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is James, and today we're in the deep south of Laos, right on the border between Laos and Cambodia. We're going to be exploring the Niagara Falls of Asia.
For a little bit of context, our target destination is officially known as Khon Phapeng Waterfall, which is indeed recognized and nicknamed globally as Southeast Asia's Niagara Falls. So no clickbait here.
So here is where the Mekong River, a huge river flowing through much of Southeast Asia, splits into many canals, many smaller rivers. This area, this region of southern Laos has so many islands, so many rivers to explore. We're gonna go see a lot of historical artifacts of like French colonization. This structure right here, it's a crane, and I'll go into more detail about the reason for this crane here as we go along in the video. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
To begin our journey, we need to hop on a long-tail boat to reach the first location on our adventure, and that is the Lipi Waterfalls. This particular area of the Mekong River is chaotic to say the least. The river splits into 100 different sub-rivers, creating this complex route-like network of islands, streams, and canals. Navigating this part of the Mekong is extremely challenging, and it's something that the French colonists had to struggle with back in the mid-19th century when attempting to establish trade routes in the area. I'll talk more about this later on when we get to experience this navigational challenge ourselves firsthand. Okay, back to our mission of locating the Niagara Falls of Asia. Already, I had doubts in my mind whether this journey would be worth it or not. See, right now, Laos is in the midst of the monsoon season. Each day is categorized by gloomy skies, heavy rainfalls, and constant flooding of the villages situated along the banks of the Mekong River. And if you noticed, the water is this disgustingly muddy brown color, and the flowing waves are rapid, to put it very lightly. I question whether the Niagara Falls of Asia was actually worth the trip to see, whether its beauty still holds up in such unfavorable weather conditions. But nevertheless, I pushed on because I already paid for this tour in Laos, and today's adventure was supposed to be the highlight, so I don't want my money to go to waste.
Okay, here we're walking to one of the buses that will take us to our next location, which is, I believe, Lipi Waterfall. So yeah. The nice cool air, cool breeze, the bright sun, the fresh smell of cow manure. This is really a true Laos countryside.
Guys, I'm not kidding, the cow manure really stinks. And the thing I've noticed is that in Laos, especially here in the south, there are just so many cows roaming freely about in the rural areas. So free, in fact, that outside of towns and cities, you'll often come across straight up cow poo dotted along the roads and especially the grounds of some temples. From my research, I found out that it's just a thing that farmers do here. Cattle need a lot of space, so farmers just let them roam around freely in the area during the day, and by evening they're herded back. Anyways, back to the journey to the waterfall.
Okay, so we arrived at our destination, Lipi Waterfall, and from here on out, it's about a 500-meter walk inward, deeper inwards. So yeah, we're gonna go walk inside, and while we're walking, I'm gonna tell you a little story about the history of this area. During the 19th century AD, during the French colonization of Laos, the Mekong River was actually used as a trading route where boats go from Laos all the way to Cambodia to Vietnam to trade resources, right? But then they reached this area called the Khon Phapeng Waterfall, the Niagara Falls. of Asia. The French attempted to cross over that waterfall many times, but they failed. So that's why they constructed a railway. And actually the road that our car was driving on that I showed you guys, that was actually used to be a railway track. And then they revamped it into a road for a tourist attraction for the cars to bring us here to our location of Lipi waterfall to see the rapid waters. So yeah, and the crane that I mentioned earlier in the beginning was the boats used to arrive and the crane would pick up the resources from the boats and then load them onto the train, to which the train would then cross over the Niagara Falls of Asia, the Kon Papeng. They'll cross over that to some smaller islands and then it'll be loaded back again into the boat to then be shipped off to Vietnam, to Cambodia. So that's kind of the gist, the history of this area, the Mekong area. Okay, we're coming up to the waterfall now. Yeah, that's a strong waterfall. Oh, the currents are rapid.
After a cumbersome and maze-like journey by boat, car, and foot, we finally arrived at our first checkpoint on our way to the Niagara Falls of Asia. Welcome to Lipi Waterfall. Among the 4,000 islands that make up this section of the Mekong waterway, Lipi is the largest of them all. There are two sets of waterfalls that make up this small section of the Mekong River, and the total length of all the winding streams and flowing water adds up to roughly 1.5 kilometers.
It's raging rivers and rapid waterfalls like this that make navigating in this area really difficult.
And while the Lipi waterfall is not very tall, the sheer width allows the water current that flows through here to be extremely dangerous.
It has many danger signs, It is quite dangerous in this area. If you manage to fall in, you're basically dead.
Just standing here safely on this viewpoint, I can already see the sheer strength and power of the waterfall, the speed at which the water gushes through, the thunderous roars of the thrashing waves. It's obvious that God intended no man or being to traverse these waters. So that's exactly why I thought it'd be a fun idea to cross the Lipi waterfalls.
So we're gonna walking our way across the Lipi waterfall in the Mekong River. It's a really shaky bridge and the air is like so fresh too. Wow, this is so cool, but also kind of terrifying. So there is like 5 bridges in total. And we just crossed the first one, and I think each bridge, no, the first 2 bridges are around 100 meters each. I think one's like 90 meters and one's 80 meters, and the rest is like pretty short, 30 to 20 meters. Yeah, 5 bridges each, crossing the entire, oh, there's a cat. There's a cat just vibing there. There's just cats vibing. I mean, I wouldn't blame them. If I was a cat, I would vibe here too. Really nice. Flowing water, really loud. Coming up on another suspension bridge. Wow, look at that. Yeah, the sheer power. Strong ass current. There's actually water splashing onto me a bit. Because the waterfall is just, the flow of the water is so strong. Whew. Okay, bridge 2 cross. Now we're heading on to our 3rd suspension bridge. This one's a short one. Just look at the strength of that current. I swear, I feel like there's a lot more movement, a lot more shaking with these smaller bridges. I feel like the larger bridges are more stable. Yeah, and you can see some points here to there, for example. I think those are like zip line points.
After trudging through suspension bridge after suspension bridge and constantly being showered by the droplets exploding out of the falls, I finally made it to the final platform, where we can view the might of the water up close and personal.
The water is so strong. Wow.
Being this close to the water, to think that one small misstep or foolishness and I'll be forcefully dragged into the murky torrents before me, it's terrifying. Though this isn't the end of my journey, by distance we're only halfway to the Niagara Falls of Asia, and if nature could produce this much strength and might at a lesser waterfall like Lipi, then I can only imagine the intensity that awaits me at Kon Papeng. After dragging my feet and my mental fortitude across the Lipi waterfalls, we stopped by at a local restaurant along the Mekong Junction to try a mouth-watering feast of the local Mekong cuisine. There are a lot of dishes and flavors which I've never even seen before. This is just a tidbit of what I ate. A full video of me eating my way through Mekong cuisine is coming up in next week's video, so be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell if you don't want to miss it. With our stomachs full, we pushed on to Kon Pa Peng. This last half of the journey was easier. All it took was another boat ride and a quick hop on the van to finally reach the location that we have been hunting for all day long.
So we're walking up to Kon Pa Peng waterfall, the largest waterfall in Laos, the largest waterfall by volume in Southeast Asia, the Niagara Falls of Asia.
Welcome to the Kon Pa Peng Falls. This is the obstacle that halted the trade routes of the French colonists. By sheer spectacle and volume, it is indeed the largest waterfall in Southeast Asia. 11,000 cubic meters of water discharges through the falls in a second. The highest ever recorded was at over 49,000 cubic meters per second.
We were pretty close to the Cambodian border as well, because down there, a few kilometers down there is Cambodia. It's actually Cambodia, yeah.
While in terms of sheer volume, Kon Pa Peng Falls is the largest in Southeast Asia and the fourth largest in the world. If measured by the width of the entire waterfall, Kon Pa Peng Falls is the largest in the world, with a width of a gargantuan 10.7 kilometers. To put that into perspective, the second widest waterfall in the world, the Para Falls in Venezuela, is only half as wide. While the real Niagara Falls, even if you're measuring the horseshoe width, pales in comparison at only a meager 670 meters wide. We as humans like to imagine that we are able to harness and control nature through industry, science, and technology. But sites like these remind us that we are minuscule in the grand scale of it all. So coming back to the question in the beginning of this journey, was it worth it to see the Kon Pa Peng Falls? For me at least, no. The scale is no doubt impressive, but I can't help but think that the falls would be even more spectacular during the dry months of November to May, when the waters are calm and clear and the vegetation is lush with vibrancy. Perhaps in the future, I'll come back to witness Kon Pa Peng in all her glory. The Mekong River. Nearly 5,000 kilometers long and passing through much of Southeast Asia, the Mekong is the birthplace of many cities, cultures, and most importantly, cuisines. In the Champasak region of southern Laos, locals have been living off the Mekong for generations, and in the bountiful waters of the Mekong River, fresh fish is aplenty, from grilled river fish to spicy fish soups and fermented fish paste. Almost every dish carries the flavor of the river, and it is here at a local restaurant where we're going to have a taste of a freshly prepared southern Laos feast straight from the Mekong River.
Okay, so we stopped by for lunch. So first I'm gonna try is the tom yum gla, right? Which is like a tom yum soup, a spicy sour tom yum soup with pieces of fish.
Tom yum is a classic sour and spicy soup made with chilies, lemongrass, kaffir lime leaves, and so on, and it's eaten in many parts of Southeast Asia. You might be familiar with the ones in Thailand, and this is basically the same dish with some slight variations. A major one is that even though it's a clear version of the tom yum, it's a more oily and rich broth, and this comes from the natural fats of the fish.
Okay, we have a big chunk of fish here. I'll try the soup first.
Yeah, you can really taste the herbs in here, from the pepperiness of the kaffir lime leaves to the gingeriness of the galangal.
Yeah, the soup is sour, it's hot. It's a little bit spicy, a lot of herby flavor. And here's the piece of fish from the tom yum soup.
The fish is beautiful, tender, meaty, fatty, and oily.
Really nice and tender, a little fatty. So much meat on the bone too.
And not to mention, the oils that seeped out from the fish made the soup very umami and flavorful. Though I would say, comparing it to the Thai version, this tom yum is slightly milder in terms of spiciness, and the general punch of flavor is overall less.
Okay, next I'm gonna try is the mokla, which is like a fish curry mixed with a bunch of vegetables and like curry seasoning and fish, and then wrapped around in like a bamboo pocket and then grilled.
This is one of the most iconic dishes from the Mekong region. The word mok means to steam or grill in banana leaves, while pla means fish. Often catfish or tilapia is used, and the classic curry herb mix is lemongrass, kaffir lime leaves, shallots, galangals, chilies, and dill. Sometimes sticky rice powder, khao kua, is added to help bind the mixture and absorb excess moisture. The packets are then steamed or grilled over charcoal, giving the dish a fragrant and smoky aroma.
Yeah, the fish is very meaty. It's a bit salty, pungent, herby flavor, a lot of good curry spice. They eat with some of the sticky rice. That's really flavorful. Oh, I get like a hint of like a minty sort of basil lemongrass flavor as well. That's really good.
This dish is seriously good, guys, and maybe one of my favorite Laotian dishes of all time.
So next up I want to try is this tam lao. So it's sort of like the Thai som tam, but it's like the Laotian version. So I'm not sure what's different, but yeah, we're gonna try. So you can see a lot of chilies, good amount of papaya, shredded papaya, tomatoes, I think fish sauce, and maybe the fish gut sauce. Maybe pala, I'm not sure. Yeah, tam lao. From the papaya, it's crispy and crunchy from the shredded papaya. It's also sour from the lime sauce, the fish sauce. It's salty, it's spicy, it's really good. The shredded papaya, really good.
So the main difference between Thai papaya salad and the Laos version is that instead of fish sauce, Laos uses a pungent fermented fish innard sauce called prada. This gives it a more astringent and umami flavor that really punches your taste buds.
Which is really pungent. It's really sort of like a funky flavor. But yeah, it's good, it's good. Gonna eat it with some sticky rice. Okay, we got this piece of fried fish. It's a piece of fish fillet battered in maybe a flour, coated in sesame seeds. Oh, the fish is it's a pretty fatty piece of fish as well. And the fish meat, it's flaky. Sticky rice. Feels good. What I really like is this mokpa, right? The fish grilled in banana leaf along with vegetables and spices. The flavor is so good and the fish is so tender. I think Laos, especially in the southern part of Laos, they do fish really well. Yeah, fish soup, fried fish, fish curry. Fish is really good here.
Also, excuse my sniffling, the food is really spicy, so much so that I'm tearing up. Okay, that was a nice meal. Now we're heading to our next restaurant for dinner. This restaurant is situated in Pakse, the capital of southern Laos and the gateway to exploring the Mekong River and its hostile waterways. I have a video where I went on a hunt for the Niagara Falls of Asia, which is located in this region, so check that out if you're interested. It's a very fun video. Also, if you made it this far in the video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like and subscribe to my channel for more and better content in the future. I'm always striving to improve my videos and your support is really motivating to me.
Hello everyone, so we're here having dinner on the Mekong River, just on the mouth of the Se River. So we're floating on like a barge. Yeah, this is pretty beautiful place. Okay, we're gonna start eating. We got this fried fish again, like a fried whole fish and all, head, internal organs probably. The head is very crispy, very crunchy. Deep fried, oily goodness. Oh, they also serve it with like a spicy citrusy sauce. They'll pour some sauce onto the fish. Yeah, it's like a sour, sort of citrusy, a little bit spicy from the chilies, a little bit sweet even. Really good. And on top it comes with one of my favorite things, deep fried kaffir lime leaves. Very aromatic, crunchy. If you never had kaffir lime leaves, sort of like a soapy sort of flavor, but still, I don't really know how to describe it, but it is really tasty. Kaffir lime chips. Okay, next up I'm gonna try the tom chip, which is like a plain soup. It has seaweed, onions, cabbage, minced pork, and this egg tofu. I'm gonna go for the egg tofu first. Like a nice jiggly piece here. Yeah, it's just egg tofu. really soft, kind of disintegrates when you like bite it. The soup, I mean, it tastes like seaweed, like a clear, maybe a vegetable broth with seaweed. There's a bit of like minced garlic, fried garlic. I mean, it's just a simple, pure, clean broth. And the seaweed, yeah, just tasty seaweed. The same kind of seaweed you get in like sushi, I guess, or like miso soup. It's a little bit salty, I think, from the fried garlic. Okay, in a similar vein to the whole fried fish, we have fried chicken. Yeah, it is hot and fresh. It's meaty, salty a little bit, and it's lightly battered, so the coating is sort of like a tempura coating, like very light, very crispy and bubbly in texture. Well, throughout this whole trip, I've noticed there being a lot of like fried chicken, fried fish. I'm not sure if it's like actually Lao food, or if it's just like this tour organized a lot of like fried chicken or fried fish, just because it's simple. But I mean, it's fried chicken, it's tasty.
Okay, I know the food so far is really plain and boring and not quite indicative of the Mekong River cuisine, but I promise you the next few dishes are a lot more interesting.
Okay, one really interesting thing is just straight up boiled fish. Just straight up pieces of fish fillets boiled, and you're supposed to eat them either Japanese style with soy sauce and wasabi, or with like the various seafood sauces. I prefer the seafood sauce, so I'm gonna go for that. Yeah, boiled fish and seafood sauce. Yeah, the seafood sauce is citrusy, it's sour, a bit salty, spicy, but the fish is a bit firm. It takes a bit of a chew. Yeah, it's really interesting, the fish fillet. I guess it's more about the fish, this dish. Here we have another thing, which is the Vietnamese sausage salad. So Vietnamese sausage is like this white sausage with pepper and spices and herbs mixed in. It's a salad made with tomatoes, carrots, I think cilantro maybe, and these like mushrooms. So yeah, we'll give that a try. Sour, really refreshing actually. And the Vietnamese sausage is like a really soft, sort of like a jelly-like texture. Like it's really easy to bite and chew. And the sausage, yeah, there's pepper inside, so it's a bit peppery as well. And it's like a pork sausage, I think. So it's meaty.
Guys, I gotta be honest, this whole meal, this ain't it. Probably one of the most average and blandest meals I've had in a while. Mekong River cuisine is all about making the most out of ingredients in and around the river, and this restaurant is it's average at best for me personally. At least I get to end things on a nice glass of beer Lao, the most iconic alcoholic beverage in all of Laos.
And chase it all down with a nice glass of beer Lao. Yeah, really refreshing. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening everyone. My name is James. Right now we're in Wat Po, the oldest place of worship that's been constructed in Southeast Asia. I'm gonna walk up the temple right now. We're at like a small path. I'm gonna go up the mountain. I'm gonna go explore the temple.
Long before the Khmer Empire, people came here to worship a powerful mountain spirit, drawn by a natural spring believed to be holy. By the 7th century, the first brick sanctuaries were built. To compare, Angkor Wat was built around the 12th century, a full 500 years after.
So this is the Wat Po temple. I think you can get inside. So I'm gonna go inside on these rickety stairs. Those look kind of dangerous. Not so stable, but it's okay. So yeah, gonna keep my voice down. Hope you guys can still hear me. Explore the temple.
During the Angkor period of around the 11th to the 13th centuries, Wat Po became a major Hindu temple. Over time, the temple transformed. As the Khmer Empire declined and Buddhism spread, Wat Po shifted from a Hindu site to a Theravada Buddhist one. Fast forward to the 21st century, and Wat Po was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
So I am walking around the first temple right now, and I do believe this has seen a lot of restorative work. There's obvious signs where things have been recently built, like these wooden supports here. But I think it's like the central structure, the stone, the moss-covered stone, the vines growing on the walls. I think those have been here for 800 years. Also, you have to excuse me for a bit because The sun is really bright and the lighting is harsh, so you might not see my face or my camera might not focus that well. I do apologize for that.
As a history nerd, exploring this ancient millennia-old temple is really amazing. It makes you wonder what this temple might have looked like during the peak of the Khmer Empire, a thriving spiritual and religious center, alive with devotion and purpose. It's beautiful to think that people can come together in a place like this, but while wandering the lower temples, I am also constantly reminded of the worst of humanity.
Yeah, it's a really old temple, but it is kind of a shame because as I'm walking through here, I do notice some trash, some litter inside the temple compounds, which is a huge shame, a huge disappointment really. But the people, the tourists who come visit here. Yeah, even right now here it's like a plastic bottle. Yeah, truly kind of a disgusting behavior by despicable behavior.
Wat Po is split into 3 levels. The lower level is the terrace and the temple gates, but the upper third level is a place of worship, and it is said that a small sacred reservoir of holy water can be found here. Drinking from it is believed to bring good luck and good fortune. But to get there, we need to pass the second level, a set of stairs leading up a seemingly gradual sloping hill. How hard can it be?
So here we're going up to the upper levels of the temple. Where it was before, it was just the entrance. Yeah, huge entrance.
The gradual slopes of this tranquil hill looks deceptively easy to traverse. Just a few steps and that's it. But let me tell you, the further you go, the steeper it gets.
Going up the second set of stairs. Okay, this pathway is a bit more rough.
These ancient steps were carved centuries ago, and you can feel the weight of time beneath your feet. Some stones are wide and flat, others are barely big enough for a single foot. Jagged rocks and smooth surfaces polished by centuries of weathering and erosion promotes caution with every step.
Still got quite a bit of a ways to go. It's a very steep stairs, steep set of stairs.
It's even worse when you take into account the scorching sun, as well as the humidity of the Laotian monsoon season. The weather showed no mercy. It's blazing hot, and I'm drenched in buckets of my own smelly perspiration.
You know, I think I'm a pretty fit and healthy kind of guy, but this is proving quite challenging. Especially when the stairs are like so steep and the steps are so huge. Gorgeous view though. Greenery as far as the eye can see. And the sun is blazing hot. And I took off my hat because the hat's actually making me sweat a lot more. Whew.
After what felt like an eternity and maybe about 100 calories expended, I finally reached the peak of Wat Po. This center shrine is the most eye-catching structure at the 3rd level, a shrine dedicated to Shiva, the Hindu goddess of destruction. Carved into the stone structure are images depicting the story of the Hindu epic of Ramayana, a story about the life of Rama, the 7th incarnation of Vishnu, the Hindu god of preservation.
Sweating bullets here. Oh yeah. This is the top of the peak, the place of worship. Sweating so much, it's like I've taken a shower. Another piece of trash.
Wat Po is an incredible sight to behold. Older than recorded history, this temple tells us a story that early man had found solace in nature, of how the fresh waters and vibrant vegetation is something to be appreciated. Because Wat Po isn't just a religious site dedicated to a deity, it's dedication to water, to soil, to wind, to earth. And to see it stand against the harsh test of time, still retaining its brick walls and intricate detail carvings, it's simply beautiful. And as I make my way down the 3 levels of Wat Po, I can't help but acknowledge the amount of energy this unexpected cardio exercise has taken from me. It would only make sense to recharge my body with a delicious Southeast Asian feast.
So we got down from the temple and now we're having lunch. We're having this Vietnamese freshly made spring rolls.
Now you might be wondering, Vietnamese food? James, I thought we were in Laos. Well, Laos shares a long eastern border with Vietnam, and in addition to this, both countries had a history of French colonization. The French encouraged movement throughout the colonies, and naturally over time, food cultures crossed the borders as Vietnamese migrants moved to Laos to seek work. Before we continue, I just want to say if you're enjoying the video, how about giving it a like, and if you want to support me, then I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. Alright, let's get back to the video. Okay, first we're going to grab a sheet of rice paper. It's hard, so we're going to dip it in some water to soften it up a bit. Once it's softened, we're going to fill it up with ingredients from this platter right here.
So the base of the spring roll is this Vietnamese sausage, and yeah, it's a sausage that's been grilled. It looks like it has some black pepper inside and chunks of fat. I'm just going to try it by itself first to get the full flavor. It's very porky, it's very meaty, very juicy. And you do get a hint of like that pepperiness, that black pepper flavor. Good.
Among the other ingredients that can be added to your spring roll are whole chilies, garlic, cucumber, ginger, and rice noodles. After that, it's time for some fresh vegetables.
So we're gonna get some fresh herbs. There's basil, there's cabbage, lettuce. Some basil in there for herbal flavor. Some mint leaves as well.
And this is the most important part of the spring roll. This is where all the flavor comes from. This thick peanutty sauce right here. It has a nice nutty flavor with a slight kick of spicy and tangy from the added chilies and perhaps tamarind sauce, I believe.
I'm gonna roll up our spring roll. The spring roll skin is like really slimy, so it's kind of difficult to roll, but yeah, that's the experience. Please don't judge me too poorly, but this is my pathetic attempt at rolling a spring roll. Yeah, fresh vegetables, really refreshing. The sauce is nice and sweet and tangy, a little bit citrusy.
The spring rolls were really delicious, but I was a bit too lazy to deal with rice paper that afternoon, so I decided to make a lettuce wrap instead, which I think worked out quite a bit better.
So this next one is, I believe it's called banh xeo, which is like a thin egg omelet, a Vietnamese egg omelet. So the batter, omelet, maybe flour to have this thin, crispy texture. And inside I can see like bean sprouts, peanuts, minced pork, I believe. And we drizzle on this sweet and sour sauce. Yeah, it's meaty, it's crunchy from the bean sprouts. And the egg omelet, it's really eggy, it's a bit crispy as well. And then we have this, which is like I guess like another type of spring roll, where there's like the rice paper, vegetables, and maybe, I think like minced fish, I believe, at the bottom. It also looks like there's noodles inside, maybe peanuts. Or add some of that sweet chili sauce.
This spring roll was very lettuce heavy, and there are bits of dry shredded fish that adds some saltiness. Honestly, this one was not one of my favorites. The chili sauce didn't really help either.
And then we have this one, which is like a fried pork spring roll. So you eat that with like the rice noodles, as well as the sweet and sour spicy chili sauce. It's a very thin rice wrapper that's been fried, and it's really flaky as a result. It's really good. The inside's meaty, it's porky. Taste a bit of carrots in there. And end our meal with some dessert. It's a pudding, I believe, maybe a coconut pudding. I think it might be like a coconut water jelly with maybe some sort of like fragrant something fit inside. Yeah, it's like a simple jelly. Pretty nice and clean. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening everyone. My name is James and we are in Laos, 1,300 meters above sea level in the Pakse Highlands, where we're looking at the largest coffee plantation in the region.
Welcome to the Pakse Highlands, the largest coffee plantation in the region, known as the Balaban Plateau here in southern Laos. The Balaban Plateau sits between 1,000 and 1,300 meters above sea level with cool weathers all year round, making this region one of the most important coffee growing regions in Southeast Asia. And this morning we're here at the Balaban Cafe, where we get to see, taste, and learn about these coffee beans firsthand.
Yeah, so they have all different sorts of coffees here, which you can smell as well. So this is the Volcanic Espresso Dark Roast. Yeah, dark roast. Smells like pretty bitter, burnt. Here's one that I think I might buy. It's an organic coffee yellow katui. Not sure how you pronounce that, but here. It's like a medium light roast. a little bit like fruity, like an apricot sort of smell. Yeah, I think this would go really well as like a filter drip coffee. I think I might buy this one actually, yeah. So there's so many different types of coffee beans you can get. There's Java coffee, Typica, and then there's geisha coffee, which is like the trendy one. It's all sold out. Yeah, there's so much to choose from. Like a filter coffee, brewer, filter paper. There's even teas.
A coffee lover's wet dream, this place. If I had enough money, I would have bought one of every bean to try, but alas, I'm broke. But I do have enough money to try a drink at the cafe. They have all sorts of drinks here, from your typical espresso-based beverages to some non-coffee options like green tea, sodas, and a bunch of frappes. They also have pastries and snacks in case you're feeling a bit peckish.
Okay, so you guys know me, I gotta try the coffee myself. So I got this Americano, a medium roasted Americano using the Danao beans that they're selling. So yeah, really excited to try this at the birthplace of the famous Laotian coffee. We're here, they're doing like, I think a majority Arabica beans. Okay, yeah, it's a bit on like a bitter note. There's like a slight hint of like a woody, kind of dark burnt flavor. Yeah, there's like a hint of like a tiny bit of like a citrusiness to it.
And that citrusy flavor is the hallmark of coffee beans grown in the Balaban Plateau. Coffee was first introduced here by French colonists during the late 19th century, where it was noticed that the region's nutrient-rich volcanic soil, cool temperatures, and high elevations make it perfect for growing coffee. The soil here is known to produce beans with bright acidity, floral aromas, and complex balanced flavors.
I bought some coffee beans to take home. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but like these yellow Katoi coffee beans. I'm gonna read off the back here. They're grown at an altitude of 1,300 meters above sea level, grown at a temperature of around 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. It's grown on like a rich volcanic soil, so that's really interesting. Yeah, so I smelled this. It smells wonderful. It smells like an apricot, sour, citrusy, fruity smell. Yeah, so when I get back to Thailand, when I get back home, I'm gonna brew this guy. I'm gonna brew it in a filter coffee, and I'll show you guys at the end of this video. Yeah, really excited to try this one. And also the packaging is really beautiful as well. The yellow and the elephant, the stencils, oh, it's beautiful. Really excited to try this.
An interesting thing to note is that many of these coffee farms are family owned, with maybe hundreds of small scale farms dotted across this region.
I think this whole plantation covers an area of like 3,000 hectares. Yeah, unfortunately we aren't able to explore the actual plantation, but you can see how large it is. Like it spans from all the way over there, all the way here, and further down there. Really huge coffee plantation.
And it's estimated that at least 2/3 of the labor force in Laos is related to agriculture or coffee.
I'm a huge coffee guy. If you guys follow me on my blog, feastographyblog.com, or you guys know me in person, you know I'm a huge coffee guy. And this is actually the first time I've been to a proper coffee plantation where I see like the beans grow. I get to like be here at a plantation. If you guys never seen it before, these are the pure coffee beans, the coffee berries. Before it's being washed, before it's being processed, before the skin is taken off, this is what your coffee looks like.
And what better way to learn about coffee than to taste them freshly picked from the coffee plant?
So here we got a coffee berry. This is my first time actually seeing a berry in person. Our tour guide said you can eat these, so I'm gonna try it out, right? So really excited. Well, it's kind of weird. The skin is sort of like an apple skin. Inside is the coffee bean, where there's still kind of like a slimy skin to it before it's like being washed and processed. Yeah, that's really interesting. Interesting, yeah.
From here, I'm bringing you to one of the most famous cafes in the Balaban Plateau, and that is CC 1971 Cafe. Before we continue, I just want to say if you're enjoying the video, how about giving it a like, and if you want to support me, then I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. Alright, let's get back to the video. CC 1971 Cafe is a unique and historically rich cafe housed in a building that was once an electricity office or power plant for the Lao Electricity Authority. The name 1971 refers to the year when many parts of Laos, including this building and this region of the Balaban Plateau, were heavily affected by bombings during the war in what is known as America's Secret War.
And so this cafe is made of like relics of the war. So here's like an artillery cannon, huge artillery cannon. There's like shells lining the front of the cafe, artillery shells. It's crazy. And the tour guide said there was like just artillery shells just lining the floor, like intact shells. So I think I'm gonna try and find some of those. Yeah, really interesting piece of history here. Yeah, you can see those artillery shells. They're not live. They already, exploded. Here's one big shell here. I think like not sure what that is, maybe a missile. And here, I think this might be like an airplane turbine or an engine. It's crazy historical artifacts.
During the Vietnam War, the United States waged a covert operation in Laos to disrupt the Ho Chi Minh Trail, a key supply route for North Vietnamese forces that goes through this area of Laos.
I think here, this might be like a piece of the shell casing. You can see like the inscription here. That's wild.
Despite Laos's official neutrality, the US dropped over 2 million tons of bombs, making it one of the most heavily bombed countries in history, more than the total number of bombs dropped during World War II.
Now this is an example of an artillery shell. It is heavy, so it's kind of afraid. I'm not much of like a military nut, but like seeing these shells, they're like the size of my head. This is crazy. It's already used up though, so it's safe to handle. But it is heavy. Maybe like a solid 1-2 kilograms.
Much of the ordnance, including cluster bombs, failed to detonate, leaving a deadly legacy that still threatens and kills the people of Laos to this day.
So yeah, this is a cafe, but I already had like 2-3 cups of coffee today. So we're not gonna drink any more coffee. But yeah, this is a really interesting cafe, like a really historical cafe, remnants, relics from the war. Like I'm a huge history nut. I love history. I learned history as a huge major subject in high school, and yeah, always enjoyed it. This is really interesting. Hi, welcome to the Coffee Corner. Long-time viewers would know that this is the place where I record videos whenever I'm too shy and afraid to go outside. Anyways, we have a bunch of coffees to try. We have 3 that are from Laos and 1 that's from the Thai side, from Ubon Ratchathani.
For this one, I'll be doing a twist on the classic Americano that you will love, so be sure to stick around.
So yeah, let's get started. Let's start off with the one that we actually bought at the coffee farm, which is the Yellow Katwai. Now I believe this is a light roast. It doesn't actually say on the labels. I mean, they have labels, but they didn't mark anything. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's very fruity. A bit citrusy. Sort of like an apricot fruitiness kind of smell. It smells good. I'm gonna grind this up. I'm gonna make filter coffee pour over style with this, okay? Let's get it. Okay, so this is the Yellow Katwai. Let's start off with the smell. It smells like your light roasted, citrusy, fruity coffee. Let's give it a taste. Okay. Very tart, like a fruity, yeah, like an apricot tartness. It's not dark roasted, but there is like a tinge of bitterness. It's very soothing. It goes down easily. The flavors, it's not too tart, it's not too sour, and it's not too bitter. So it is really like a nice, smooth drink. This is really nice, almost like drinking tea almost. Yellow Katwai beans, volcanic soil grown coffee beans. Interesting, really nice.
Next up, we have 2 types of instant coffees from a very famous Laotian coffee brand called Dao. We have an Americano style as well as a 3-in-1 style.
Okay, so this is the Americano, the Dao Coffee Americano. It looks like an Americano, which I appreciate because a lot of times these instant coffees, especially the ones in the cans, they call it black coffee or espresso or Americano, but every single time they have milk or sugar in it. So yeah, let's give it a taste. That is black. No sugar, no milk. It tastes like the most black coffee you can get. It tastes a little bit woody, like a wooden bark kind of flavor. Okay, so this is the Dao 3-in-1 original. It's very milk forward. You do taste a lot of milk, a lot of creamer maybe, not a lot of coffee flavor. Tastes like a chocolate caramel coffee candy. Little to no taste of actual coffee. I mean, I think for people who like milky coffee drinks, like a nice latte or a cappuccino, I think it's pretty okay. And the last one, which is an interesting one, I didn't plan on getting this, but this was from the Thai side, Ubon Ratchathani. This is Hoi Hom. I don't know if I said that correctly. But yeah, it's a medium roasted coffee bean. It's supposed to taste brown sugary, caramelly, sweet, and like a balanced medium body flavor. So yeah, I'm gonna try this out. Very excited for this one. Okay guys, so here we have the Americano made from the special beans I got. You can see it's a foamier Americano basically. There's like a layer of nice foam at the top there, and the bottom is just the Americano but aerated to give that more creamy texture. Sort of like a beer, to be honest. So yeah, let's give it a drink. Ooh, oh. It doesn't taste like coffee at all. It has like a nice sharp citrus, like a lemon sort of flavor. Sort of like an iced tea maybe. And with this Americano preparation method, that gives a much more smoother and a mild texture. It's not watered down because we used double shot 60 milliliters of espresso. I'd say it's comparable to a cold brew, but what makes it special, more special than a cold brew, is the texture. The texture is rich. It's creamy. It's more like a smoother, more silky texture on your tongue. It's really refreshing. It's really nice. And especially now when the weather is hot, like I'm sweating. I didn't turn on my aircon to record this. But this drink is really refreshing. It cools me down a lot. So that's the Laos Palawan Plateau Coffee Farm Tour. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys like seeing me try out all these different coffees. So if you liked the video, please give it a like. If you love the video and want to see more content like this in the future, I really appreciate it if you subscribe. And if you guys want any more travel information or travel tips relating to Laos, Southeast Asia, you can check out my food and travel blog at feastographyblog.com, where I have a bunch of articles about traveling and food. So yeah, that's all for today's video. See you guys next week, Monday, where I have another video out. So yeah, see you guys. Bye bye.